Hello, we are Kat Medill and Danny Mendoza, and we are looking at the biomechanics of heading a soccer ball and its effects on the brain. Soccer is the most popular sport in the world, played by over 4 billion people.
Although headers are a common and important part of the game, they have recently come under scrutiny due to concerns about the effects on players' brains.
Due to the fact that soccer is played by a wide range of individuals and headers occur in a variety of situations, the kinetics and kinematics of headers vary significantly. For example, a player's effective body mass, which is essentially how much of a player's mass is used to oppose the movement of the ball, affects the player's head's linear and angular acceleration. Linear and angular acceleration are also impacted by the situation the header occurs in. Finally, properties of the ball, such as ball pressure, affect how the energy is dissipated across the player's head. All of these factors have a large effect on the severity of the impact and therefore the risks to the player.
To gain a better understanding of the severity of header impacts, we looked at the head injury criterion as well as peak linear and angular acceleration because these metrics have been used in American football and other activities as an established way to measure a player's risk for a concussion. A study of U14 girls depicted on the figures to the right found that the HIC linear and angular accelerations the girls sustained did not reach the benchmarks that are associated with an 80% risk of concussion. Based on this data, the majority of headers, when considered as individual isolated events, do not pose significant risk of concussion. However, the data also shows that headers still place a significant amount of force on a player's head. The cumulative effect of thousands of these subconcussive impacts over the course of a player's career is still not well understood.
Several studies compared the brain structure and function of soccer players with high exposure to heading to those of non-contact sport athletes. The findings of these various studies, however, were not all consistent with each other. For example, multiple studies showed decreased expression of RD and FA, which is associated with decreased white matter integrity. Additionally, studies have found increased cortical thinning in male former professional soccer players. There are some studies, however, that contradict these findings and did not find evidence of cortical thinning.
The results of studies looking at brain function found evidence of decreased performance in several areas, including memory, planning, processing tasks, and slower reaction times. In totality, the studies reviewed showed that headers do pose a risk to soccer players and can affect their brain structure and function. However, we also found that it is still not well understood how large this risk is, and the studies currently available have several limitations.
There has been a relatively small number of studies, and most of them have had a small sample size. There's especially a lack of long-term studies looking at the cumulative effects of headers. Despite the limitations of the current research, there is still evidence that suggests that heading can lead to changes in brain structure and function. Since soccer is played by billions of people worldwide, it's important to continue this research and use these findings to ensure player safety. Thank you for watching.